Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So we are going on our third day with no kids. Could you imagine having no kids in a camper for an entire week? What would you do, right? You would go out, have fun, do things without your kids. No, not here. We have some renovation plans that we are doing while the kids are out, and we have some mechanical issues that we need to fix. So follow along, enjoy our journey with us. And if you are new to the channel, we just recently gone full time. It's been a little bit over a month. You know, it goes just like anything else in life. You have your ups, you have your downs, you have your fun times, you have your not so fun times, and it's just the journey that we chose to do. So we hope that you follow along, like and subscribe our channel, Campfires and Motors.
Alright, so I'm trying to figure out this mystery leak. Got some water I noticed the other day, just after it was raining, dripping out from up underneath the camper. I'll show you over here. Yeah, kind of right up here between the bottom of the floor and the frame here. You can see here it's still kind of a little damp. You know, some water. I got a picture here from the other day I can throw up here and show you. I'm just trying to determine where all that water is coming from. We notice right here where our water connections are, there's a bunch of water laying, you know, on the bottom because it was dripping from here. So I fixed that, you know, put some Teflon tape on here. None of that's dripping anymore. It's nice and dry. I was thinking maybe the corner of the box right here, up in here, was dripping and, you know, getting up underneath. But that was a couple days ago. Opened up the access compartment here. Don't really see any water sitting, but you can see like that piece of plywood on top of the tank here for the outdoor kitchen is damp, and then the bottom piece of wood, you know, that little Lawan piece there underneath is damp as well. But that was a couple days ago. I had this open, had the fan, you know, a little battery powered fan in here running, trying to dry it all out. It's not drying, so I had an access panel inside. I figured I'd open up and take a look. Coming through. Say hi.
Hi.
Don't mind the mess. We're in the middle of cleaning and reorganizing, so we don't have any kids. But I built this cabinet here, you know, last fall. You know, that way our son would have some place for his stuff. Since we, you know, the open range came with this cabinet. But luckily I built access panels in here. You can see at the top of that tank, there's a bunch of water sitting in there. Now we have to determine where that water is coming from. Obviously, you know, this is the main fresh water coming in. There's no leaks there. We'll turn on the black flush to see if that's leaking. We'll just check each one of these connections one by one to see if we have any water coming from anywhere. If you guys have had any problems like this, you know, let me know in the comments what your leak was once you found it. And we keep our gray tank valves open, so there's no chance of that this tank here for the outdoor kitchen is full or overflowing. This piece of wood that's on the top there is just left over from, I guess, when they cut the hole, you know, through the floor. Didn't really seem to do anything. Sides get wet in all the water now. So how would we be getting water on top of the gray tank there? So when I was building the cabinets for the kids back here, I was gonna put an outlet here, so I cut this hole and found the vent pipe for the gray tank, you know, for the outdoor kitchen. So I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is if it's leaking at the roof connection and then kind of running down this pipe. So I'm gonna, luckily I have an access for that now. I'm gonna go on the roof and spray some water with the hose around this vent, see if you guys see any water coming down from the inside here.
Nope, looks pretty dry in there.
See anything?
No, it's dry. I don't see anything at all coming in there.
Well, what are you filming here? Well, I sprayed, you know, with the hose all around that vent cap. Wish I wasn't expecting that to be leaking because it's sealed up pretty well up on the roof. Just in case, you know, it was leaking when it was raining. Alrighty.
It's hot.
The mystery continues. So what I think I'm gonna do is probably gonna cut out that piece of wood since it's getting soaked in water anyway. I got my multi-tool and cut that thing out, dry it up, and then see if the water comes back. Because I mean, maybe it was leaking, you know, from this box here. It's not leaking anymore since we fixed that leak. But I'm gonna cut that wood out, dry up the water. We'll seal all the corners and edges in that box and see if the water comes back. And we'll hope for the best. Got my multi-tool here. We're gonna see if we can cut out that piece of wood. Not sure how well you guys are gonna be able to see this or not. My arm's probably gonna be in the way. There we go. We'll go and dry up all that water, seal up that outside box here, and see if the problem comes back. Well, we got the majority of the water cleaned up, so we'll keep an eye on it. See what happens. Even in the middle of working on the camper, still gotta take the Tango for a walk. Ready to go, Tang? You gonna grab your frisbee? Get your frisbee. You want it? Carry your frisbee. Let's go play. Tango, sit. Wait.
Ready? That's rough.
Come on, Mom, you gotta throw better than that.
Hi. You want to try it again? Ready? Go.
There you go, Tang. Got a few things done on the old list. Some area under here, we got that all dried out. It's staying dry so far. The water's back on and everything. So we went and siliconed all along the edge here, back in there. I'm pretty sure that's where it was leaking from. It was leaking here because this sits right over top of that gray tank for the outdoor kitchen. Got all our connections here, all sealed up with the Teflon tape. Nothing's dripping, container's dry. So we'll monitor that for a few days or a week, or at least until after a good rain. Make sure it's not leaking from the vent pipe on the roof. What else we do? Oh yeah, we got some stickers put on here and on the door. Over here in a slide out, so we have the cable slides. So another thing I did was this little rubber patch here was coming off on pretty much every single slide. It was loose and sliding back and forth freely. Wasn't adhered to this rubber seal. So I got some new of this rubber tape or whatever you want to call it. At the open range rally this last summer when we went there, they gave me a small roll of it to replace everything. So I used some 3M adhesive promoter, cleaned it up, let that dry, put these on here. So hopefully that seals it up, keeps the rainwater from getting in. I also pulled the cover off the AC unit on the roof there, the heat pump, since if you saw in a previous video, we had it freeze up on us. I just wanted to check that front coil, make sure it wasn't dirty or anything like that, because a dirty coil causes bad airflow and that could cause it to freeze up. But the coil was nice and clean, so hopefully it was just a one-time thing with that heat pump freezing up like that.
Okay, so now that we have solved that problem of the leak underneath the bunk room bed where our son sleeps next to the kitchen on the outside, I can start working in their room, trying to get it put back together while they are away. So, as you can see, it's a little messy back here because when you have two teenagers, they don't exactly like to keep things clean. So, the plan is to reconfigure it all, organize it all up, get hangers and stuff put up in here, and hopefully make it a little bit more presentable for them to be able to utilize a little more. Our overall goal is to get a TV in here so that we can get rid of the monitor and make it a little bit more roomy, but until we can get that put in here, their flooring space is going to be a little bit less, I guess you could say. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I have a dilemma. The dilemma is, I don't know where to start, and I don't know how to do this. So, this is going to be a project in itself. Yeah, because I don't really know where to start in here. Let's see. So, I need to change all of their bedding because it all needs to be washed. And I need to reorganize because when you decide that you're going to move from a house to a camper, you tend to bring more with you than you think that you're actually going to need. And so now that we are a month into our trip, actually a little bit over a month, it is time to reorganize, declutter, figure out what is needed, what isn't needed. Do we really want to keep it, or can we part ways with it? So that's where I'm at. I don't know exactly how to organize this space at the moment. I let the kids do it when we moved in because it's their room, so they're the ones that are supposed to do it. Yeah, so I guess I'll just get started and we'll kind of go from there. We're going to start on this side, which is our daughter's side. Up on the top, we have, this is more of our storage area. So we keep totes up there. We have the printer in case we need it. So I guess I'll start with that. One of the totes is down right now. It has games and stuff in it, and since the kids are not here, my husband and I have been utilizing a lot of those games to try to keep ourselves busy in the afternoon. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Wow. It's so much more, there's more room.
This is not what I thought this would be. I thought this would be the one and then the other one on this side.
Is this gonna block out her snoring?
Like I said,
Yep.
gotta come check it out.
Hopefully.
I can't pull on that, Riley. It's just a white ride up there. Yep.
Oh, now Riley has even less headroom to get up there. We're gonna.
No.
Woo!
I'll need headroom.
Mom made a mess under bed, but that's okay.
I'm falling.
Alrighty, so one other thing that we want to do with the channel is we want to track all of our expenses, you know, living the full-time RV life. So it's February now, we've added up all our January totals, and we want to give that out to you guys. I know it's something that before we decided to go full-time, we always were interested in watching and
Right.
what other people were spending whenever they mentioned it on any of their channels or their shorts or whatnot.
Yeah, because it just gives you an idea of how much you could spend, or it just kind of gives you like a broader picture of the two versions of living in an RV or living in a house. Like how much.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
really not that much difference.
yeah, either
if
way, you're
you-
going to have expenses. You're either
Yeah.
paying a mortgage or you're paying campground fees and groceries, or buying either way. Living in the house or living in a camper. And then we got Tango over there whining in the background. The kids went out to ride their bikes and he's upset he's not out there with them.
Yep.
So let's get in it. So for January, for campgrounds category, we spent a total of $667. It was a little, I guess, cheaper because we stayed at we're Escapees members, so we stayed at an Escapees park in Florida. We'll do laundry.
Our laundry is, we did a little under 130 for the month of January, so it came out at 126.25. We do highly recommend doing your laundry at the campground compared to going to a laundromat.
Definitely.
We found out that they tend to be a little bit more expensive.
Well, at least the one we went to. I mean, we never actually gone to a laundromat before that, so
Right.
I don't know if this one was expensive or that's normal.
I mean, we kind of learned that like not all campgrounds allow you to do like your comforters and like all your bigger items that you need to wash. So
Yeah, the
that
big
kind
bulky
of
items.
is, yes, that's kind of why it kind of added up a little bit with us having to go to the laundromat off.
I think the laundromat, well, we did regular clothes there too, but that was what, 70 or 80 bucks out of that total,
Yeah.
something like that. Then what we do on groceries?
So for our grocery bill, it actually didn't change much from living in a house.
Still got to eat food.
So it came in just at $1,083.79. So for us, that hasn't really changed much.
The only thing that does change is obviously you don't know the local area, so you can't go to the stores that have the best sales and stuff.
Right.
You can research more online and figure it out, but we don't really buy fancy things to eat either. So but I think about $1,000 for 4 people wasn't too bad for the month.
Right.
Now, diesel for our truck. We did travel from Delaware down to Florida, so that total, and then we drove around too. We went to Tampa a few times and around the area. So that total was $611.95. And then propane, we had to fill propane twice in January in Delaware before we left. And then after we got to Florida, just to top the tanks off. It was really cold in Delaware down right before we left, and it actually snowed 8 inches. So yeah, that was our initial full-time, getting going full-time camping. I'll post a link to that video right above here. But for propane, we spent $69.29.
Right, and then our eating out and excursions. I feel like it's a little high, but at the same time, you have to splurge every once in a while, and
Gotta have some fun.
we kind of did that a lot in January, just trying to get situated and keeping the kids occupied throughout the camping. So that was
Yeah, because the campground we were at didn't really have
right.
much or anything for the kids to do besides ride their bike around the little campground road.
Right. So
So what
that
excursions did we do?
we did the airboat ride to go see alligators. We went swimming with the manatees.
Yep, that was the big ones. Airboat ride and the manatee. So we did
Right.
videos on both of those. So check those out. I'll post a link for those in the comments down below, or in the description down below. So the total?
$1,073.96.
Yep, and probably
So,
3/4 of that was those 2 excursions.
right.
Each one of those was 400 or so a piece. And then just some miscellaneous categories. On the trip down from Delaware to Florida, we stopped at the cat scale just to get our weight with everything in it. I've done it before in the past, but now that we're actually out of the house and we have all our stuff in the camper, I went to see where we weighed. That was $14. Then also we swung through the Blue Beacon truck wash to get all that salt and grime from the roads traveling
Right.
down here washed off. That cost us $85.70.
And then for our RV insurance, so this is an annual payment, so we won't have it again until next January. $1,744. So that
Covers us for the year.
right, it covers us for the year, and that's like one of the most expensive items on the list right now, I guess.
Yeah, and then one thing to note on that is if you are going, to the full-time RV lifestyle, make sure you double check with your insurance company that they cover full-time travel and full-time living in your camper, and make sure that you increase your coverages, because this is your house now, so you want to make sure that you're covered in case anything happens.
Right.
Then the RV payment was $390. We don't have a truck payment. The truck's paid off, but we're still paying the insurance on it, obviously. And then truck insurance is $305 a month. So our grand total for the month of January was $6,170.94. What do you think about that?
I think that's a little high for January. We're going to have to cut that down in February, especially since we have a few less days.
Yeah, it's only 28 days. Can't be as expensive. Well, we won't have the annual insurance payment or anything like that.
No.
But let us know in the comments what you guys think of the expenses. Is it a lot? Is it a little? If you travel a lot in your RV, whether it's full time or most time, then let us know how it compares to yours. Thanks for watching this week's video. We're going to give you the totals each month.
Right.
So I guess technically the next month, at the beginning of the following month, we'll let you know what the previous month was. And at the end of the year, we'll give you the grand total. So be sure to click that subscribe button and follow along our journey, because we're just getting started for 2025. We'll see you on the road.